What if everything you know about building muscle is more complicated than it needs to be? Split routines, chest day, leg day, back day, arm day, 6 different machines, 12 different exercises, an hour and a half in the gym 4 times a week. What if all of that, every single bit of it, could be replaced by one exercise, not reduced, not supplemented, replaced? There is one movement that activates more muscle simultaneously than any other exercise ever invented. And the science behind why it works is so overwhelming that once you understand it, you will never look at a complicated gym routine the same way. Again, the modern fitness industry has a financial incentive to make muscle building as complicated as possible. More complexity means more programs to sell, more equipment to buy, more supplements to take, more personal training sessions to book. But here is what the science actually shows. A 2017 review published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research analyzed 21 studies comparing single exercise training protocols to multi-exercise routines across matched volumes. The conclusion was not what the fitness industry wants you to hear. When total training volume was matched, meaning the same number of sets and reps performed, single compound exercises produced equivalent or superior muscle growth compared to multi-exercise routines targeting the same muscle groups. Let that land for a second. Same volume, one exercise versus many, same or better results. The complexity was never the point. The volume and the movement quality were always the point. Before I reveal the exercise, let me show you exactly what criteria make one movement superior to all others for muscle building. Criterion 1. Muscle groups activated simultaneously. The best exercise for building muscle hits the most muscle in a single movement, not one muscle, not two, the entire posterior chain, the entire core, the entire upper body pulling system, all at once. Criterion 2. Load potential. The exercise must allow you to progressively add weight over time, because progressive overload is the only proven mechanism for continuous muscle growth. An exercise you cannot load progressively will plateau your results regardless of how perfectly you perform it. Criterion 3. Hormonal response. Compound movements that involve large muscle groups and heavy loading trigger a significantly greater release of testosterone and growth hormone than isolation exercises. The more muscle activated, the bigger the hormonal signal, the more total muscles growth across your entire body. Criterion 4. Functional strength carryover. The best exercise does not just build muscle in the gym. It builds the kind of strength that transfers to everything you do: carrying, lifting, holding, moving. Real-world strength built through the exact movement patterns your body uses outside the gym. One exercise scores maximum on every single criterion. It activates more muscle simultaneously than any other movement in existence. It allows heavier progressive loading than any other exercise. It triggers the highest acute hormonal response of any single movement measured in research. And it builds the most transferable real-world strength of anything you can do in a gym or outside of one. The exercise is the deadlift. Let me show you exactly what is happening in your body during a deadlift and why it is incomparable to any other movement. Research published in the European Journal of Sports Science found that the deadlift activates more total muscle mass than any other single exercise ever studied, including squats, bench press, rows, and pull-ups. More total muscle activation means more total metabolic demand. More metabolic demand means more calories burned during the exercise and for up to 24 hours after. More total muscle stimulated means more total muscle growth across your entire body from a single movement. But here is the hormonal angle that makes this even more significant. A study from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that heavy compound deadlifts produced a 25% greater acute testosterone response than equivalent volume performed through isolation exercises. 25% more testosterone released into your bloodstream from doing deadlifts instead of isolation work. And that elevated testosterone does not just help the muscles you train. It circulates through your entire body, stimulating muscle protein synthesis in every muscle group simultaneously. This means doing deadlifts makes your arms grow, your chest grow, your shoulders grow. Not because you directly trained them, but because the hormonal environment created by heavy deadlifts benefits every muscle in your body. Now, let me show you exactly how to perform the deadlift correctly, because a poorly performed deadlift is the only way this exercise becomes dangerous rather than transformative. The setup. Stand with feet hip-width apart. The bar sits directly over your mid-foot, not touching your shins, not far away. About an inch from your shins. Hinge at the hips and bend your knees until your hands reach the bar. Grip just outside your legs. Before you pull anything, take a massive breath into your belly, brace your core as hard as you can like you are about to take a punch, and pull your chest up until your back is flat. Drive your feet through the floor, think push the floor away rather than pull the bar up. This mental cue activates your legs and glutes properly from the start. Keep the bar dragging close to your body throughout the entire movement. The moment the bar drifts forward, your lower back takes the load it was never designed to handle alone. At the top, stand tall, hips through. Shoulders back. Do not hyperextend your lower back at the lockout. Just stand up straight. Lower the bar under control. Do not drop it. The eccentric, the lowering phase, is where a significant portion of the muscle-building stimulus occurs. Now here is how you actually use this as your complete muscle-building system. 3 sessions per week. The deadlift is the anchor of every session. Session 1, Monday, conventional deadlift, 4 sets. Start with a weight you can lift with perfect form for 5 reps. Rest 3 minutes between sets, add 5 pounds every week. After the deadlift, 2 accessory movements only. Pull-ups for upper back and lats. Farmer's carry for grip and total body conditioning. That is the entire session. Session 2, Romanian deadlift, 3 sets of 8 reps. This variation keeps tension on the hamstrings and glutes throughout, building the muscles that the conventional deadlift transitions through. Quickly, same weight progression principles apply. After 2 accessories, rows for upper back thickness, dead hangs for grip and spine decompression. Session 3, Friday heavy conventional deadlift. Work up to a heavy set of 3 to 5 reps. Then drop the weight by 20% and do 2 back-off sets of 5 to 8 reps. This is your strength building day. The key is progressive overload. Every week, add weight, 5 pounds minimum on the bar. This is the only mechanism that forces continuous muscle adaptation. Most people plateau because they lift the same weight with the same form for months. Your body adapts to a stimulus and stops responding to it within 3 to 4 weeks. The weight must keep going up for the muscle to keep growing. I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. So let me address the 3 most common objections directly. Objection 1, I do not have a barbell. The deadlift is a movement pattern, not a specific piece of equipment. Dumbbells, kettlebells, a loaded backpack, a heavy sandbag. Anything heavy that you pick up from the floor using the same hip hinge pattern produces the same muscle activation and hormonal response. The movement is the medicine, the equipment is just the delivery vehicle. Objection 2, deadlifts will hurt my back. This is the most common fear and it is based on a fundamental misunderstanding. Deadlifts do not hurt backs. Poorly performed deadlifts with weights too heavy and form too compromised hurt backs. A properly performed deadlift with appropriate loading actually strengthens the lower back and reduces back pain long term. The research on this is consistent and clear. Objection 3, one exercise cannot be enough. The objection assumes that complexity is necessary for completeness, but the muscle activation data we already covered shows that a single deadlift hits more total muscle than most people's entire weekly split combined. The issue is not whether one exercise is enough, the issue is whether people believe something simple can work because they have been conditioned to believe complexity equals effectiveness. Here is what I want you to take from this video. The deadlift is not a replacement for all training forever. It is proof that your body responds to stimulus, not to complexity, to progressive overload, not to variety, to mechanical tension on muscle, not to the number of machines you use. The men who build the most impressive natural physiques are almost never the men doing the most exercises. They are the men doing the most important movements, with the most consistency, the most progressive overload, and the most focus. The deadlift is the most important movement. Everything else in your program is secondary to it. Accessories that support it, movements that complement it, but nothing that replaces the hormonal signal, the total muscle activation, and the progressive strength building that one movement provides. Start this week. Find a barbell or a substitute. Learn the setup. Start lighter than you think you need to. Master the form before you add weight. Then add weight every single week without exception. In 8 weeks, you will be stronger than you have ever been. In 12 weeks, your physique will show it. If you want to see the other movements that complement the deadlift and build the complete physique we talked about, the pull-up, the farmer's carry, the movements that directly build the visual impact muscles, that video is on your screen right now. One exercise, everything changes.